No! No! Fucking no! And furthermore, why?
Hello and welcome back. Originally, this was going to be a prediction video, but my sources revealed to me who won the next death battle, and one of them even gave me a mega link to the episode, and I saw it, and needless to say, I'm pretty pissed off by the fact that they actually had Cloud win. This really pisses me off. I wanted to give Death Battle the benefit of the doubt, and this is why I don't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore, because whenever I do, they kick me square in the fucking balls. And before I begin this rant, I want to get this out of the way right now. I'm a Final Fantasy fan and a Zelda fan. I love both franchises equally, although I probably like Zelda a little bit more than Final Fantasy because Zelda has had a better track record than Final Fantasy has, but that's a different discussion. Point is, I love both franchises, so under normal circumstances, I wouldn't care who won. And you all know that I mentioned this in my review of the first Link vs. Cloud. I didn't care who won. And now I regret even speaking positively on that episode, because realistically I should have been just as brutal on it because it was garbage, and this next one is somehow even worse than the first one. Like, oh my god, the way they fucked over Link in this episode is unacceptable. Okay, this is total fucking horseshit. There is so much wrong with this episode, okay? This is already contender for worst ever material. This is bad. This is really bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you here, people. It fucking sucked, okay? And I'm so pissed off at this. If Death Battle wants to play dirty, that's fine. I'll play dirty. If Death Battle wants to go to war, that's fine by me. Over the next few weeks, I am going to be going after Death Battle. I'm talking a rant video, a review, a full-on Yang vs. Tifa style debunking, possibly a live stream where I pick apart every fucking frame of the episode itself. I'm not going to be holding back. You guys are going to be getting a steak with all the trimmings over this next month. And since there's not going to be any new Death Battle episodes because Death Battle's taken a hiatus, this gives me plenty of time to rip this episode in particular a new asshole. This is already Naruto versus Ichigo territory already. Now the question is, will it be worse than The Mask versus Big Head? Well, only time will tell, but this is already as bad as Naruto vs. Ichigo. Like, the amount of lack of consistency is fucking bullshit! Like, I know now exactly why they used a composite Link, and you all probably know what I'm gonna say. Just like with Ben 10 versus Green Lantern, or just like with Goku versus Superman, they wanted to be able to pick and choose what was convenient for them, and that's exactly what they did. They pick and chose Link's equipment and abilities of what was convenient because they clearly wanted Cloud to win for whatever bullshit reason it was this time. So, they would just pick and choose what was convenient for the outcome. They didn't give Link the magic armor. Oh no, we can't do that, because even Death Battle knows that the magic armor alone completely breaks this fight. We're not going to have Link use the Ocarina of Time, and we're going to use a complete bullshit reason why he won't use it, because Death Battle acknowledges the fact that, yes, Link could use the Ocarina to keep going back to the beginning of the fight, but you know what? Cloud has the Libra spell, where he can scan Link, and we'll just say that Cloud has dealt with time manipulators before. That's not a fucking argument! Are you fucking retarded, Death Battle? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you're fucking retarded. This would be like me saying, you know what? Superman is stronger than Goku, and Goku could easily just erase Superman from existence anytime he wants. But you know what? Superman has fought aliens before. He knows exactly what he's doing. This is fucking bullshit! This is bull fucking shit. You are fucking out of your mind, Death Battle. You are so inconsistent and so intellectually dishonest, it's fucking painful. And this is not about Link losing. This is about Death Battle being inconsistent, doing characters dirty, and being intellectually dishonest, okay? Believe me, I would have complained about this even if Link did win. Let me make that perfectly clear. But Death Battle decided, no, let's do Link dirty. Like, I have been consistent. I hated Naruto versus Ichigo because they did Ichigo dirty. I hated Yang versus Tifa because they did Tifa dirty. I didn't like Ben 10 versus Green Lantern, and I'm probably going to make a remake of that review, giving it the proper attention it deserves because I wasn't as brutal as I should have been. But this is about Death Battle doing characters dirty and being intellectually dishonest. Death Battle has no goddamn consistency. I knew that they were going to try to use the supernova as a cop-out, and that's exactly what they did. But you know what's bullshit about that? They're willing to mention the supernova for Cloud, but not for Tifa. So you won't give Tifa the fucking supernova because you needed Tifa to lose, but you'll do it for Cloud. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, okay? You suck, Death Battle. You objectively fucking suck. You are one of the worst versus shows I've ever fucking seen, okay? Go fuck yourself, okay? Like I said, you want to play dirty? I'll play fucking dirty. Let's play dirty, Death Battle. I'm going to be leaving a link to that mega link I mentioned so people can watch the Death Battle early and watch it on there so they don't have to give you the views. I'll hit you right where it hurts, Death Battle, in the view count. Because I know damn well, Death Battle, you don't give a shit about who actually wins. You just want views. And you knew that creating controversy is a more guaranteed way to get views than just being fucking honest. I know you, Death Battle. You might have your fans fooled, but you don't have me fooled because I'm not a fucking moron, Death Battle. And you will see. I will make sure that everybody knows what a fucking fraud you are. This episode was garbage. I'll save a lot of it for the inevitable review and debunking, but there is so much here that is bullshit. For example, they say that, sure, Link can maintain an infinite amount of magic energy through potion, but you know what? A Cloud, he can use Osmos to siphon magic. Okay, first off, what happened to, Infinity is Infinity? Also, Cloud doesn't have a limitless amount of magic energy, and the Osmos spell requires magic energy. Each time he uses the Osmos spell, he's using magic energy, and all Link would have to do is wait for Cloud to burn all of his magic energy, and then restore his own with a potion. Cloud can't use Osmos, he can't use Dispel, he can't use any of his magic. But no, don't do that. And of course, in typical Death Battle fashion, they lowball Link. They say, well, you know, Link can dodge lasers, but Bahamut Fury was able to be 12 times the speed of light. Okay, first off, Link has reacted to light-based attacks, and you know this, because you mentioned that Ganondorf can dodge light attacks at point-blank range. You know that Link is faster than light. You know this, Death Battle. Why do you have to fucking lie? Why do you have to lowball Link? You know that people aren't gonna buy this except the most deluded of Death Battle fans because nobody's stupid enough to believe this shit, Death Battle. And I want to hear the bullshit that, oh, why are you taking this so seriously? Death Battle just does this for entertainment. Let me make this perfectly clear. Death Battle does this for a fucking paycheck, okay? Their view count means a lot to them because the more views they get, the more money they get. That is a fact. Sub counts matter to Rooster Teeth because the more subs they get, the more money they get. The amount of views and subscribers is tied directly to their income. Death Battle is no longer this tiny YouTube channel just making these videos for fun. Oh no, they are a small corporation. Death Battle is the Watch Mojo of Versus channels, okay? That is true, and if Death Battle continues down this path, that's what they're inevitably going to become. Another shrill, corporate bunch of jack-offs that don't actually care about what the fans want. They don't care about entertaining, they just care about what's good for their bottom line. Why else do you think they perfectly timed this shit with the E3 conferences of Square Enix and Nintendo? Because they knew it would be an easy way to get buzz and views. So don't act like this isn't about money for Death Battle, because it is. Death Battle didn't have Cloud win because they thought he should have won, and because they wanted to apologize for the Link versus Cloud situation back in the day. That's not what this was about, because if that was what this was about, they would have fixed Yang versus Tifa. They would have fixed Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. They would have fixed Naruto versus Ichigo. They would have fixed Tracer versus Scout. This isn't about fixing their mistakes, and deep down inside, you know it. You know deep down inside Death Battle doesn't care. So please don't act like I'm being some unreasonable, salty fanboy. Like I said, I love Final Fantasy, I love Legend of Zelda. If this was a normal Death Battle situation, I wouldn't have given a shit who won. But that's not what this is. This is about Death Battle being intellectually dishonest and lying. And fucking over another character. And on top of the fact, the fight was garbage. I don't want to hear anybody say that the fight was good. It was shit, okay? The animation was plastic and looked like a bunch of action figures being thrown at each other. The fight was extremely slow-paced. There are multiple sections of the fight that make no sense, such as when they both stop time at the same exact time, thus bringing the fight to a screeching halt for no reason. They show a heavy lack of imagination, like what Fan War pointed out with Thanos versus Darkseid. This fight had near limitless potential, and they didn't even do a fraction of what was possible. And I want to hear the fact that Death Battle doesn't have the budget to do this stuff. I've proven multiple times before that Death Battle makes at least 100K off of just their YouTube views alone. This doesn't take into account Rooster Teeth subscription, merchandise sales, and sponsorships. So they absolutely have the budget, they have an animation team, they can hire writers to make the best fights possible, but they don't do that. This fight was infinitely more underwhelming than the fight they did the first time. At least the first fight looked good and had a faster pace to it. This fight was trash. They had near infinite possibilities and they botched it. Okay, so this is Total War, Death Battle, and you brought it on yourself. I am going to completely tear you apart over these next coming months, and you have no one to blame but yourself. You brought this on yourself. All you had to do was just have a cool fight and have Link win, and you couldn't even accomplish that. You created something that's infinitely more worse than the first one you did.
I'm just getting warmed up. This is Von Clausewitz shit. Total fucking war. I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical.